Hey, what's up guys, this is Nishant from CG Force, and in this tutorial I'm gonna teach you guys how to make these CG IBM mugs more realistic and believable in Blender 3D with Cycles Rendering Engine. As you guys can see, the beer looks quite realistic with condensation of a glass, the bubbles inside beer liquor and this foam, which was the 90% of my reason behind working on this project, because plenty of artists kinda struggle to make it, and it is a little bit complex in its nature because it works in two ways, which I'm gonna explain step by step in tutorial, so heads up for that. And the next thing is these peanuts, which are 100% procedural, made in Blender. But in this tutorial I'm only going to cover up this mug only, because I think peanuts deserve their own separate explanation, so I'm gonna keep it that way. So let's just jump into our tutorial and start working on this mug. As you guys can see, I have this mug from a beer project file and I'm going to use it in this tutorial again. So let me just quickly tell you guys how I actually made this mug. I started with this simple mesh circle and then start to extrude it out right up to here on the outer edge, and then extrude it up on the Z axis right up to the top. Then I made some changes in scale right from the center, scale it down a little bit, provide few edges to maintain the topological flow, scale it out from the top, provide few edges, and then made a little bit crease on the neck. After that I applied a solidify modifier with a little bit thickness for this inner wall of this mug and then applied it. After that I select few polygons right over here where I want to connect my handle of this mug and extrude that out, and select front face, back face, inset them in and then bridge them up, and then you will get this nice topologically clean mug. Make sure guys you have this seam right in the center if you are using this mug or any kind of mug. If you want to put condensation of a mug, and then unwrap it so that we can use our condensation texture quite nicely over it, just the way I have done over here. As you can see, a little bit messy, but texture gonna work pretty well on this one because I have already put condensation of this. So now moving on to the next part, which gonna be our texture of this mug. I'm going to add a glass texture for our mug. I'm gonna use this principal shader for that. I'm gonna crank this roughness 0 and transmission right up to 1. And yeah, it looks pretty good. Let me just quickly set up the lighting system so that we can see how our mug exactly looks like. So first I'm gonna add a floor for this one, scale it up just right up to here, and I'm also going to set up a camera. More selection. Yeah, looks pretty good with this. I'm also going to put that out. Yeah, looks pretty good now. And now let me set up the texture for our floor, which gonna be our floor. Crank this roughness to 0. Also use the base color dark a little bit because I want my floor to look like more like a dark background. And now let's just start working on a beer liquor inside this mug. So let me hide this floor for a second. So let's just go to the edit mode, select this inner edge over here, start increasing our selection with control numeric pad addition sign right up to here. Looks good. Now I'm gonna duplicate this, separate it from the mesh, and I'm gonna hide this mug for a second and gonna work on this liquor. I want to close this mesh just like this bottom one, so I'm gonna go to edit mode, select this edge, extrude it down a little bit once more, and then fill it. Looks pretty good, just like the bottom part of this liquor. Now I'm also going to remove this seam. Yeah, it looks good. Let me quickly check the normals of this mesh, which are flipped. So now we have to recalculate the normals, and now we are good to go. Let me unhide everything, and let me also set up the lighting system to check how our mugs exactly look like. So I'm gonna add a HDR in our environment texture. I'm going to use a 4K resolution HDRI named as Kiara Interior, and this one from HDRI Heaven. I will leave the link in description box so that you guys can also use it. And now I'm gonna use it as an environment texture. We also need to set up a point light behind this mug. So I'm gonna use it now, right up to here. Let me just check the side. Yeah, right up to here. We also need to make few adjustments in the emission. I'm gonna use black body for the temperature of my light. I'm gonna keep the temperature to 6500 and reduce the power to 1. I'm gonna keep the size right up to here. So now let's just check the render. We have quite good glass, but you can see there are some few black patches, and we also need to set up color for our beer liquor first. So let me quickly work on that part. Let me just shut it down for a second. I'm going to open up a shader editor over here, and I'm going to make another texture from this class or for our liquor. I'm going to make another copy of this texture and name it as beer liquor. So now we have this principal shader as our liquor texture. I'm going to use a hex code for our beer color, which I already have copied in our text editor. Let me just quickly open it up. Hex codes. We have this liquor color over here, and I'm gonna just copy this hex code in a base color to demonstrate you something quickly. Now you guys can see I have this color on our beer liquor, but is it a beer color? I mean, plenty will say yeah, we have this beer color of our, and now we can proceed to the next part. But is it a beer color? Because let me just show you more better. I mean, you can see this is a water splash, and you can see the light is passing through this splash equally from all parts. These thinner parts, this one, the thicker part, which with the thicker part of this water splash. But in reality, liquid just doesn't act like that. I mean, light passes differently from thinner parts and thicker parts. So we need to make that possible in this 3D software, this blender of ours. So to make that possible, I'm going to add another shade over here, which is our volume absorption. Let me quickly show you guys. I'm gonna connect this right up to here. I'm gonna copy this color right into this color and increase the density to 20, and I'm gonna keep the base color back to white. And now you can see, guys, the thinner parts of this splash now turn to a little bit more transparent. Even it has a color gradient, but thicker parts showing the that color depth in itself, which is completely acting like a liquid, just like a real life. So we have this volume absorption for our liquid parts. Whenever it comes to make any liquid just like real life, you're gonna use this volume absorption right for that. So now moving on to the next part, which is our bubbles inside this beer liquor. So let's just make it quickly. I'm going to use the icosphere for my bubble. I'm gonna keep the subdue level to 1, radius to 0.1, and still quite big, but let me just scale it down a little bit as a bubble size, move it down to z-axis, and let me just quickly name it bubble large. Why name it bubble large, I will tell you later part, because we are going to use it again for another thing, for something else. And now I'm gonna texture this bubble bubble. I'm gonna use this principal shader for this bubble too, so I'm gonna crank this roughness to 0 first and transmission to 1. And we also need to set up this IOR value so that we can get our reflections from this bubble, which I'm gonna use 1.52 to get the strong reflections from the bubbles. And I'm also going to make this bubble a little bit more smooth, so I'm gonna use shade smooth. And now we have our bubble. So let's just grab this our liquor and hide everything else. So now I'm gonna go to edit mode, select the top layer, expand the selection, duplicate it, make another copy, and made another copy. Yeah, we have. So once more I'm going to select this, expand the selection, duplicate, made another copy, and now I'm gonna hide this liquor. We have this top and bottom layer for our particle system, for our bubbles inside this be a liquor. First I'm gonna remove the subdiv surface from both of them, and now I'm gonna check the normals for these surfaces. We have normals directing towards the upward direction, so we need to flip the direction of these normals, so because we want particles to just emitting down. So I'm gonna do it first. I'm gonna recalculate the normals, and then I'm going to flip these normals just like that. Also for this one, first I'm gonna recalculate them, and we are good to go. So now I'm gonna add a particle system on this plane of ours, and let me quickly write it down. Top layer bubbles, and now I'm gonna use this bubble right over here in from this render. I'm going to add as an object bubble large, as you can see. I'm gonna make a few adjustments over here. I'm gonna set this lifetime of this particle system to right about like 2 seconds, and I'm also going to increase the numbers of particles to like 40,000. I want quite like a dense packed bubbles, so we need it. Let me just quickly see. Yeah, looks pretty good, but we need to crank the scale up a little bit. So I'm gonna crank the scale depth to like 6.5, 3.5, probably a little bit too much. Yeah, looks pretty good. Yeah, looks pretty good. So now I'm gonna do the same with the bottom layer over here, and going to set up another particle system. I'm gonna keep all the settings same except for the gravity. So let me just adjust it lifetime to 1. Again, object, instance, bubble large, station, value to 2.5, 6.5, scale randomness, and let me quickly see how it looks. Yeah, it looks pretty good, but need to work on that lifetime. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Actually, we don't need to play with gravitational force for this one because our lifetime is quite low and particles even disappearing after the second. So we need to now create another layer for these bubbles, which gonna be our third particle system layer, because I want these bubbles to elevate from this bottom layer to the top layer, just like bubbles are rising from bottom layer to top layer and connecting these both layers in between. So I'm gonna duplicate another layer over here and hide these two layers, and now I'm gonna first I'm gonna remove this particle system, and now I'm gonna work on this mesh a little bit. First I'm gonna turn off these normals, and now I'm going to provide few more edges inside over here, and I'm gonna select this one outer edge and delete it. Also select this one, provide an inset right up to here and delete it. Now I'm changing my vertex mode to polygon mode and select all the mesh. Now I'm gonna select over here and checker deselect, and now you can see our mesh is randomly selected. Now I'm gonna delete these randomly selected faces to provide the disruption between our layer, so that I can generate that totally organic disruptive bubbles flow. I'm gonna select few more. I think we already have our selection from checker deselect. Now I'm gonna select it randomly, like a little bit. I think that's enough, and now I'm gonna delete these faces too. Now we have our disrupted face flow. Now I'm gonna keep it that way and add another particle system over here, the center bubbles. And now I'm gonna change the particle number to 10,000 for this one, and increase the lifetime to 8 seconds minimum. And I'm also going to use the object as a bubble lard, as the both layers before. And now I'm gonna, as you can see, as we have raised our lifetime to 8 seconds, the bubbles have first emit a little bit high over here and then start dragging down on the z-axis, just because our gravitational force need to make a few changes. Here is the gravitational physics. It's weird. Yeah, fine, field weights. Now I'm going to reduce this our gravity to negative 0.5, and let me quickly show you guys. And now you can see our bubbles are flowing right up to the top. We also need to set up the scale. I'm gonna crank up the scale to 1 because I want these bubbles to be completely different from other two layers. So crank this value to 3, a little bit less. Yeah, looks now pretty good. Yeah, looks pretty good. Now I'm gonna unhide everything else, and as you guys can see, bubbles from the top layer are just getting out of this mug, so we need to scale them down a little bit. So select this one layer, and I'm gonna scale the bubbles layer on the X and Y axis just right inside this mug, just a little bit more. Still bubble is coming out, just a little bit more. And now you can see our bubbles are completely inside this mug. And now let's just check out how it looks with our lighting system. We already have a border selection. Looks pretty good, but there are some few black funky patches over here. I think this is a production of our liquor layer. The mesh of liquor layer is kinda overlapping with the internal wall of this mug, so we need to scale it down just a little bit, just right up to here. And now let's just check it again. And now you can see we have our beard quite liquid, but I think the exposure is just a little bit down. Let me just crank it up on the color management. I'm also going to use this filmic log, exposure to 1, and also going just contrast to very high contrast. And now you can see our bubbles look quite bold, quite clean, nicely reflecting out with the refraction from that light behind. I also don't want this glossiness of this light over the floor, so we need to turn it down from this glossiness over here. Oh, wait a second. Point light, glossiness. And now we got this clean floor right over here, and the reflection looks pretty good. So now I'm moving on to the next part, which gonna be our beer form part. probably 90% of the art is kind of looking for this part only. So now let's end the curiosity and start working on our beer part. Before moving on to the next part, make sure guys you have turned emission of these particle layers off from particle section, and so that it just doesn't interfere with our liquor mesh and the refractions coming out from that mesh. So we need to turn off the emission from these all layers. So let me just do it quickly. And now we are good to go with our bubbles. So now we need to start working on our beer form. So let's just start working on this and hide everything else except this beer liquor. Go to edit mode, select this mesh, expand the selection right up to here and duplicate it, separate it from the mesh, unhide everything else back except this camera. And now we have our this beer form layer. I'm gonna go to edit mode, select the layer, extrude it right up to here on the z-axis, and make sure you have proportional editing checked on. And now I'm gonna scale it down to x and y axis, just right up to here where it touches the inner wall of our mug, which looks quite good to me. And I'm gonna select this layer a little bit and scale it down just a little bit more. I'm also going to turn off the subject modifier of this beer form so that I can work more easily on this one. And now I'm gonna hide everything else for a second, and let me add few more edges in between this beer form, just like this, probably few more in the center, this one over here too. I'm going to hide this bottom layer for a second. So I'm gonna press this shift H, and now we have this selection. Now I'm going to make some random selection of vertices on this layer. Press C to grab this selection circle, and now start selecting with our few vertices over here randomly, completely randomly. And now what I'm gonna do is grab these vertices down along this surface a little bit more, provide a little bit orientation, unhide the bottom layer too. So I want to make it look like just like a disturbed, displaced beer form, just like it happens in reality. So I think look pretty good. Let me just turn on this subject modifier back again. Yeah, it looks pretty good to me. I also want to crank these few vertices up right up to here. I also want this outer layer to grab up a little bit. I think just too much. Let me just make a checker selection over here. I think it's looking pretty good. Yeah, just like this one. And let me just deselect these vertices because I want to raise them up from there a little bit more, and just like this. Deselect these one and grab them up a little bit, probably too much, keep it low. So now I think beer form looks quite good to me. Now I'm gonna unhide everything else. I'm going to make few adjustments with its height according to beer mug. Yeah, looks pretty good. So now let's move on to the next part, which is our beer form texture. So first I'm going to remove this texture of beer liquor, and now I'm going to add another texture, beer form. So now I'm gonna start working on a beer form texture. First I'm gonna crank this roughness to down 0, and let me just make some space for our work. And I'm going to add a shader in between, mix shader over here. Now I'm going to another shader, which is transparency. Make sure you connect this transparency on the top of this shader, and for right now I'm gonna keep this value to 0.5, and I'm now going to add a RGB node. Where is it? Yeah, that's here. Well, this RGB node gonna work for our beer form texture, beer form color. I already have this hex code in my text editor for our beer form, so I'm gonna copy it and paste right up to here. You can see we have this light yellowish tone color for our beer form, and I'm gonna mix it with mix RGB node right up to here. I want these two colors to blend in together so that I can get that liquor color in my form with more like a whitish tone. It's gonna look super realistic as it happens in reality. So now I'm going to change this mix value to overlay, and I'm also going to increase the factor value to 0.7. I want it more like whitish tone, and I'm going to connect it with the base color as well as subsurface scattering color, and anything alive is a subsurface scattering, so we need to crank this value up just a minimal value, 0.5, and we also need to add these RGB values for our subsurface scattering, which gonna be our 1, 0.9, 0.7. Just copy this value and it's gonna work perfectly fine for you guys too. So now the next thing is we need to add bumps in our beer form. Yeah, bumps. I mean, without them, beer form gonna look like a milky speculated surface, which we definitely don't want to. So we need to add a noise texture. Noise texture. I'm gonna crank the scale to 100, details to 1. I'm gonna keep the distortions of 0. We also need to add a void noise texture here. I'm gonna keep the settings as it is and crank the scale up to 50. We also need to add a mix RGB shader over here to blend them together. And I'm gonna change this to add value. I'm going to add a RGB to black and white, connect it. So going to add a bump, connect this value to height and set this with normal. Also going to change this strength of bump, make it quite low as possible. I'm going to use it as 3. Also reduce this distance height, gonna be our 0.1, and now it's gonna work pretty well for us. Now the last thing is which I'm gonna add here in the volume, which gonna our volume scattering. I'm gonna connect this to volume, and now I'm gonna connect this value right over here with this color, the volume scatter. I'm also going to crank up this anisotropy to 1. So let me guys explain you that what it is, this volume scatter actually. Volume scatter is a shader which is used for volume, fog, or anything like a dusty environment, which help us to scatter the light inside that volume. So it works in two ways with this density and anisotropy. Density is for how much denser we want our environment to be, and the anisotropy is used to scatter the light in a specific direction. If anisotropy is -1, light gonna scatter completely in the opposite direction to the light is being directed on that mesh, and when it's 0, that means the light is gonna 50% scatter in the opposite direction to the light is being directed, and 50% in the same way. And when anisotropy is +1, then it's gonna scatter the light in the same way the light is being directed to that mesh. So that's how volume scatter works. And now let's move on to the next part, which gonna our bubbles inside this beer form. So which is gonna be the last part of this form, and it's gonna bring more realism to our scene. By the way guys, I forgot to mention that make sure your mix shader value should be up to 0.75, otherwise it's gonna quite transparent and gonna mess up the entire scene. So make sure you have this value cranked up to 0.75 and it's gonna work perfectly fine for you. So now moving on to the next part, we're gonna have our bubbles for this sphere form. So let me just hide this camera, and as you guys may have remember, we have this bubble over here named as bubble large. So now we're gonna make two more copies out of this, bubble intermediate as well as bubble small. So let me just copy this quickly, do this one, scale it down, copy another one, copy another one and scale it down. Let me just change the name over here, intermediate, change this name to small, and now I'm going to make a separate collection for these bubbles. Move on to the new collection, beer bubbles, and now I'm going to use a particle system with this beer form. So let's just add a particle system, form bubbles. I'm going to use it as here because we don't need to emit them. So I'm going to use over here in the render section, checking this collection and make these beer bubbles. You can see we already have the bubble on our beer form, but we need to tweak few settings. First I'm gonna set up this number, which I'm gonna use 20,000. It's gonna have too many bubbles. Also going to reduce the scale size. First the randomness to completely 1, and the scale to like 5, probably too much. Let's just keep it to 0.5 and check this, pick random, object rotation, however it's gonna affect on that much. I use count. Now I'm gonna set values for these three bubbles. So first we have this large bubble, which I'm gonna keep to 1000, intermediate bubble, which I'm also going to keep to 1000, and then the small bubble, which I'm going to keep to 18,000. Now this is gonna fill up our beer quite intensely and gonna give that complete realistic look which we are looking for in a beer form. So now let's just check out our render of this beer form a little bit from above. But I think before moving on to the render part, why not we just set up our condensation of glass over here. So let's just move on to our condensation and then render out the complete part. Let me just turn off this particle system quickly so that we can work more easily in the viewport without getting any lag. So now I'm going to apply this condensation over this mug. First we need to add a new texture over here. I'm going to name it as glass condensation. Oh, and now we need to select the area where we want to apply the condensation of mug, and I have already made two vertex groups separately named as condensation and then handle. I'm going to select this condensation part, and I want to apply the condensation right up to here, the neck of this mug. So I'm going to deselect the top layer, also this edge over here, and yeah, you're good to go. I'm going to assign this selection over here, and now moving on to the material editor port. So now we need to add a mix RGB node here and a image texture. What is that? Yeah, I'm going to connect this image texture over here, and I have a special concrete texture for my beer condensation. I'm using this texture's albedo type, which is our diffuse color. I will put the link in description box so that you guys can also download this texture from cgtextures.com for free, and I'm gonna open it. Make sure guys you are using this sRGB color spacing because we are using albedo texture, and that's gonna work with our sRGB even if we are using this node system with our roughness, because yes, condensation gonna pop out from our roughness. So I'm going to add a color ramp over here quickly. to connect this roughness with our this mix RGB. I'm also going to change this value to multiply, and yeah, let me just first open a render viewport here. Let me just tweak these values first, and now you can see I have these values over here with this white portion over here. Well, this is our condensation. I'm gonna crank up the transmission a little bit to show you guys, and let me play with these values a little bit. Just crank this value up to top right, and now you can see our condensation take place on this glass, and we have this condensation on our glass. But we also need to add a noise pattern over here, because I want to show that our most of the condensation is kind of water from the surface, so we need to add a noise texture over here, and this one I'm going to use a color ramp with this node so that we can have complete control on this shader. I'm going to set this scale to 100, details to 1. Going to connect this with the RGB node, RGB to black and white node. Now I'm going to connect with this mix RGB over here, and now I'm going to play with these values a little bit. And you can see now we have our noise texture pattern over here on the glass. I'm going to tweak them up a little bit, want them 100%. So now we have but quite like a noise pattern. Just me play with it a little bit. So yeah, now you can see we have that texture pattern over this glass, and as well as our noise texture, which shows that plenty of the condensation kind of wore off from this part, and same as other parts. So now we have our condensation, but one thing we need to add, which gonna get our condensation more like a realistic look, and that gonna our bump map. We need to add this bump map with this mix RGB with height, and I'm going to set the strength to like very minimal, like 0.45, and keep the distance to 1. Now it's gonna work like our condensation. So now let's just move on to our scene back and check how it looks with render, and I'm gonna come back with our results. So let me just change the render values over here. I'm gonna set this to 400 and keep the denoiser on. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it to 0.5 value. So let's just start our render, and our render is complete. And now you guys can look, the condensation looks pretty good on that glass. I also copied this condensation on this handle of this mug and tweaked with color ramp a little bit, got imperfections pretty good. And look at this, our beer foam, it looks quite good. You guys can see now our beer foam has a little bit yellowish tint in it, mixed up with white tone, which was our that RGB node. Let me show you guys quickly. Yeah, this one RGB node of this beer foam mixed up with this white tone with overlays, and results looking pretty good. Bubbles looking pretty realistic with that IOR we set, and you can see from this glass through, bubbles looking pretty good on the boundary of this glass mug, and pretty good results. So that's it for the tutorial, guys. I hope you guys learned something from this tutorial, and if you did, please leave the thumbs up and share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more informative tutorials like this. And if you guys have any question about this tutorial, any doubts about this tutorial, feel free to leave in the comment box. I will try to answer them as much as I can. And if you guys have any requests that what kind of tutorial should I make, or any kind of tutorial you are interested in, so leave that in a comment box too. I will have a look at that. So that's it for the tutorial, guys, and see you guys next time.